Chris, how is your pee break?
My pee break?
It might flash you undetected.
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I, too, am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
Around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. All right, everybody. As promised, we have a certified crypto queen in the house. And I know Bitcoin's hurting a little bit, but that's okay because this is going to make your day. It's going to make everything better. I promise. I am joined by the one and only Natalie Brunell. I'm so excited because I have been wanting her on the show for a minute, and we did bump into each other at the Sausage Fest. That is the Bitcoin conference, which we will talk about, but a little bit about Natalie. She is actually one of the most influential voices in crypto and Bitcoin. It is so impressive what she's accomplished. I'm reading from my notes here because that's how impressive and lengthy her resume is. She hosts Coin Stories, which is the #1 podcast for Bitcoin education literacy. She has a new book coming out, Bitcoin is for Everyone. She is an Emmy-winning legacy trad media journalist. We actually have a lot of parallels, Natalie and I, from coming, from the who doesn't love, trad media, legacy media, to doing our own thing and pursuing our own vision. Both of us are all about freedom to the people, populism, power to the people, the American dream. And yes, we have both sat down with Dave Portnoy. I think all roads somehow lead to and from Dave Portnoy. I don't even know. So Natalie, welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor, here on GNN. Bitcoin babe.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. That was such a nice introduction. Appreciate it.
I had to get it all in, Natalie. I mean, look at my notes here. It's like we got to do Natalie. We got to do her right. We got to do her repertoire here justice. I am so excited. So, okay. We do have many, overlaps. And we both know, Natalie, that everything is broken, right? The creator economy, obviously the financial state and financial institutions and trad media, hence we both left. So just to kind of start off here, big picture, what are some kind of overlap and parallels you see between just everything being broken and kind of how do we get out of this mess?
Yeah, it's a really great question because I saw the transformation, the digital transformation of media over the last 2 decades, really, as social media platforms came out and people started to create on platforms like YouTube. And it was fascinating because I was in that legacy TV world, kind of thinking that I can't break out of that. There's too much security. I just got to follow the formula, the template path, not knowing how much opportunity there would exist outside of that in decentralized media. And that's what the internet gave us in terms of the ability to disseminate information, decentralize it, allow us to maybe question some of the news sources, right? Become our own sources for information. And Bitcoin, there's a lot of overlaps with that, with what it does for our finances and for our financial future and freedom. So that really excited me too, because we can disintermediate some of these legacy institutions that have broken our trust. A lot of people have lost faith in the institution of media and they feel like their trust was broken there, but also in banking, right? And we've seen over the decades that the banks are always bailed out. And even if they take on a ton of risk, it seems like, the wealthy always get wealthier and the average worker is left behind. And that's not capitalism. A lot of people confuse that and say, oh, well, that's because capitalism sucks and it's broken. No, it's actually because our financial system's broken. We have a system that is essentially a monopoly over money where a few people can print as much as they want, essentially. And all of us are working so hard for it as it's diluted and debased away from us. So Bitcoin is this really powerful tool because it allows us to save in something that no one can print and no one can manipulate and take from us and seize from us. And so I think it offers freedom and hope for so many people, so many hardworking people around the world who don't want to be like daytime traders on the side and, have 50 side hustles and need 5 incomes to afford a house. And so, yeah, it's been an exciting journey to work in this space.
Do you have those? Are those your Bitcoin earrings going on? Because I've seen you wear a
No,
couple of them. I see the orange there popping.
this one's
Um,
orange. No, it doesn't say Bitcoin on it. Maybe it should, but yeah, I love to, wear
to
my,
rep.
yeah, I love to wear Bitcoin
Yeah.
whenever I can.
No, you're so right, and I think really what it comes down to, and again, like I said before hopping on, this by no means, guys, because I know not all of you are Bitcoin pros, but you're getting there. But it all bleeds into one another. Natalie's absolutely right, and she and I, in our respective lanes, definitely saw it from the inside even when it comes to media. Like and it really comes down to controlling narratives, controlling our lives, what we think, what we do, our finances, and the lack of financial literacy. By the way, in this country, is literally an abomination. I'm like, how am I in my 30s and
Yeah.
just learning this now, right? But so it does, guys. She's exactly right. It really pertains to every facet of your life, especially if you're like us and you want to be free and don't want people to have you under their thumb. Natalie, do a little bit of a humble brag about your Emmy winning success in legacy media, and do you ever miss it? I mean, I know I don't, but I can't say I do, but
You
yeah,
know, I'm grateful for my
yeah,
background because
definitely.
I don't know which famous person said this, but luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And I
Yeah.
think that my journalism background, as challenging as it was, because it's not glamorous, right? People think, oh, TV news, it's not as glamorous as it looks. But it really prepared me for the opportunity that was Bitcoin and this sort of gap that I saw in being able to educate the mainstream public. Because the one thing that journalism school and the work that I did at TV networks taught me was how to tell a story, how to tell it simply, how to, dissect something that's very, very complicated and share it with an
Yes.
audience that has a short time span and maybe only a little bit of, time and attention to give to any particular topic. And they sort of need the, give me the TLDR. And that's what it really helped me with. And I saw that that's actually what Bitcoin needs. It needs more communicators and storytellers to share this message and share this education with the public. So I don't miss it in the sense that, I was covering a lot of tragedies. It was always very negative. If it bleeds, it leads, right? You probably know that
Hmm.
in news. And now I feel like I get to cover something that is at the core so positive and so uplifting and empowering for the average individual. So that's why I don't miss it because it taught me what I needed. But now I feel like the focus should be on just reaching as many people as possible with Bitcoin.
That's a really good way to put it. I relate to that too. So my background's more in entertainment, celebrity
Okay.
journalism, and I actually
That was
just
positive.
revisited.
Yeah.
I just went back to LA for the first time since leaving during the
Yeah.
pandemic, obviously, because Gavin Newsom and his cronies just annihilated the entire existence of that place. But same thing. It's like I can appreciate the time it had, and it was sort of like the last of the media, like its days in the sun. But then I slowly started to see the thought control, the narrative control, all of it, as I'm sure you did too, from the inside. And again, how all of these big institutions, Natalie, right? Be it government, be it corporations, finance, media, but like they're all in bed with one another and we see the narrative control. So really breaking out of that and having the freedom to think freely, to pursue the vision, to your message, right? With Bitcoin and the freedom that it promises, all that is massive. Do you find yourself having to present the way you are any differently? Is it more freeing now? Like between legacy media and now? Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's 10 times more freeing. I feel like I can
Yeah.
really be myself, which there's no other word to describe it other than just like really freeing and
Yeah.
motivating. And it's not that like I had to change who I was. It's just that, um, there were definitely times that I experienced where I wanted to cover a story or I had a lead and I wasn't able to tell the story or I wasn't able to interview
Yeah.
someone or I wasn't able to kind of cover a certain angle. And that was really frustrating to me. And it led you to question the incentives. And a lot of it, it does lead back to the money. If you really follow the money and you mentioned kind of the corporations, right? These big institutions. I have come to believe after my education in not just Bitcoin, but how our financial system works, that we wouldn't have these monopolies in every single industry if we had a system that was truly a free market capitalist system with hard money like Bitcoin at the base layer. And I say that because the system we have now is it has like no semblance of capitalism when you have this like very powerful central planning actor in the
Mm-hmm.
middle,
That's
right?
right.
Who
So
gets
true.
to print money, and the people closest to that money printer benefit. And that incentive system, it makes sense, right? It rewards greed. It rewards those who are political insiders on either side of the aisle. And it allows for corporations over the decades to do things like, have access to lower interest rate loans. They could use those loans to buy back shares of stock instead of investing in maybe products or companies or in their employees. Like everything is based on stock performance and stock price. And we've distorted the whole system. We really don't know what value is anymore. And I think that if we had a system that was based on something that no one can just print out of thin air and get an unfair advantage, we would see real competition, right? And so these massive corporations would have a much more difficult time ballooning and amassing the power that they did, because there would be more just like biodiversity in terms of the ecosystem of like competition within any industry. I really truly believe that. And so that's why I think we have to like get to the core problem, which is the money and how corrupted the financial system is, so that we can start to fix the things that are downwind of that, the second, third order effects, because then like it really does impact all of our lives. It's like if you're working harder but feel like you're taking home less, that's going to impact not only your sense of hope for the future, but it's going to impact your motivation. It's going to probably impact how you feel about yourself, how you treat others around you. Like there are so many second, third, fourth order effects that we don't really appreciate that all lead back to how concentrated the political and economic power has become in this country. And that's the only thing I think that can fix it, because we can shout all day about left versus right, red versus
Sure.
blue, and we never get anywhere. But if we fix the
That's
money, we can
so
actually fix
true.
something for so many people.
And when you really boil it down, it's empowerment, right? It's putting the power in the hands of these people and or these people, us really,
Yeah.
away from this concentrated power. And even what you're saying, I feel like will break brains because we think America and we think synonymous with capitalism. And you're like, actually, shit is broken. It is
Yeah.
decrepit and it's not, yeah. And that's what I think is so eye-opening, right? And
Yeah.
that's where even people, I'll be real in my audience, Natalie, who may think, oh, crypto and Bitcoin, it's a scam. I've been burned. I'm in over my head. I don't get it. Whatever it is that the crux of that, which is the empowerment and the transparency, it being open source versus what is playing out now and the power. Like it's like we're all just pawns, right? We're all
Mhm.
just pawns. In their schemes here. Just to pivot because I love the sheer aesthetic of how brilliant you are and how bright you are and in the package you are, right? Because you're so gorgeous, especially when you are in the sea of all these finance, crypto, Bitcoin bros. Like I said, even like on your show, even like a Bitcoin conference. So talk to us like every time, even like a crypto Wendy, she and I have where she's been on my show or I've seen her, whatever, we joke about this, right? Because there's so few of you guys like holding it down as women in the space. Does it make you giggle? Is it sort of like a badge of honor? Like, yeah, I'm holding it down. Like, what honestly goes on? Because you're always so like level headed and even keeled and just in the game. But what really goes on in your head?
Oh gosh. Well, so much there. First of all, I've met Wendy. She's phenomenal.
She's
She's
great.
lovely.
She
She's
is.
so great. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that she's defending the industry in our in the
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
I'm really, really honored to be kind of one of the women that's leading the charge in the space, because we're so underrepresented at large in this industry. And I think that one of the reasons is because when you look at Bitcoin, it is very heavily finance driven, very heavily tech driven, very heavily computer science and engineering, and all of those industries are very male dominated. But it's such an opportunity for us, because there's nothing about Bitcoin that makes it for men versus women, or for a certain type of person versus another. Like that's why I wrote the book Bitcoin is for everyone. I'm trying to make it as approachable to everyone from every background, every age group. And for women especially, what I found is my girlfriends, my peer group, they really care about several things. They care about, their careers and advancing to a level where they can provide security for their families and their loved ones, and they're achieving that. Number two, they care about their communities. They care about uplifting other individuals, helping those in need, and making some kind of a global impact. And Bitcoin literally checks all of those boxes. I think that more women need to pay attention to the investing world and actually take their money and allow it to work for them. And we don't get taught this in school, to your earlier points. I mean, there's such a lack of financial literacy. So we go about thinking that we just have to, work our 9 to 5. Maybe we'll put a little bit away in our 401k
That's
and
right.
eventually we should be able to, afford the house, right? But suddenly we realize we really can't. And I just think the rules, you think you know the rules, but the rules are different. The rules have changed. And there's really nothing that's beat Bitcoin's performance. So it's an incredible opportunity and it's not too late. And I just want to share that with as many women as possible because I frankly I really like hanging out with women. I've always loved women. I am close with my mom, and my mom always just inspired me to, she just was always a lovely person, and she always loved the women around her and supported them. And I feel like that's how I wanted to live my life too. My girlfriends have meant the world to me. I want to support them, and I just have fun hanging out with women. So I want to do that in the space. I want to
Yeah.
inspire other women to get involved. And
Yeah.
it's very nice of you to say what you did at the top of your question, but it's funny because working in TV, you get the nastiest comments and people are behind screens and they troll you and they say horrible things. And it's my girlfriends who have been that
Yeah.
outlet that makes me feel supported and loved and cared about. And so we got to have our girl gang, and I just want to support all the women that are in the space. There are some incredible young voices that are rising, like
Yeah.
Ella Huff and Halston Valencia, who have been just tremendous in the Gen Z demographic. And so, yeah, I love being a woman in Bitcoin. Like, go women
Yeah.
in Bitcoin. Yeah.
I feel like it really does go with the ethos of the entire premise of what Bitcoin offers, right? Which is sort of, I love you reference like the 9 to 5, put away a 401k. It's literally what this world represents. And even beyond the finance, like Web3 and content creation, all of it is like breaking out of the
Yeah.
matrix. And what
Yeah.
I've noticed is because I have almost like one foot in this world and one foot out, and everybody, it could be like I've interviewed some OG, like the Robert Breed loves the altcoin dailies, right?
Mhm.
To the Wendy's. And nobody is weird or territorial. They're like, the more the merrier, come on, come all. And I think, again, it's so opposite of whatever post world, the last era, even our background in media, right? Where it's completely opposite. It's like, again, control, territorial. Like, I have not found, people ask me all the time, like, what is it like being in the, again, sea of bros and all that? And that's the other thing too. Like, Bitcoin is a technology, right? Which people overlook. And I don't find, again, that anyone is weird about it at all. It could be like someone dudes attending the conference. It could be, again, speakers. It could be the influencers like yourself. I just feel like it's such a different vibe of get in on it. It's not like I'm judging you because you're a woman. I'm judging you this, that, whatever,
No, and I feel like it's just shared values. When I
Yeah.
started to attend the events and
Yeah.
conferences, I mean, regardless of who I met there, it was like we had a lot in common in terms of just like the values we had and the world we wanted to see, and the amount of positivity, right? Like I've really found a lot of positive, just well-meaning people in this space who want to do good and impact the world, which is really just great because sometimes I feel like in other industries or other job circles, you find people that are kind of down about everything, and they don't find hope in the future. And
Yeah.
negativity, I think, breeds negativity. And I really do believe in the law of attraction. So to surround yourself with people who are kind of on the cutting edge, that are pioneering and that believe in this and have done the work to technically understand it, like it's really exciting.
We absolutely with that, and then before I pivot, we are, though, even like being in this environment, and I watch a ton of clips from your show, and it's very much male dominated, or even like I said, being at a conference like Bitcoin, right? Total funny sidebar, but I even would ask attendees like, all right, guys, you could have like the most amazing swinging from chandeliers night with the woman of your dreams or meet Satoshi. Like, what's it gonna be?
And they're
Like,
like Satoshi.
yeah, they're like, sorry about it. Yeah, exactly. Um, it's just so it makes me laugh so much. Um, do you feel that that you do have an advantage again being such a rare commodity? And then on the flip side, are there any challenges that you face being a woman in the space, which is rare? And like I
Um,
said, so gorgeous and smart on top of it.
Well, that's nice of you. Trust me, people say the opposite all the time. So, but I just think it's an opportunity. Look, I think that being the only woman in the room, like instead of focusing on that, I just try to learn from the people around me. I would rather be in a room where everyone's smarter than me, right? And I just want to absorb their knowledge and learn, and then be sort of a voice and an inspiration to others to join me. That's all I really care about. So, of course, there are challenges when people criticize you or they say, you don't need to talk about women being in the space. Like you don't need to like focus on that at all.
Sure,
And for me,
sure,
it's like, well, it does matter to me. And when I see a women's event or a women's,
sure.
gathering or a group or an organization, like I do want to learn about it and see if I can get involved because it's just nice to be around other women. It is like we understand things and we communicate in a certain way when we're just around each other. And I love that. And so really, but I've seen it as an opportunity because you do get in the room and you do stand out, and then you can, kind of make your voice be heard and known. And so that's what I've tried to do. I think that sometimes how I saw this video of a woman who was a little bit older that's going viral on social media, and it was like a video asking people who are older what their regrets are, and she said that she just wished that if she was 20 again that she didn't have so much fear. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's so relatable because so many of us, right, if we could like rewind time and you could do things over again, the one thing that I think is common with all of us is like we would not fear so much. We wouldn't get in our heads and stress out so much. We would take the chance on the job. We would take the chance on, going to the event or introducing yourself to someone or applying for the job. And so it's sometimes hard in the moment, but I try to remember that as much as possible because like you only get one life and you're not going to be perfect and you're going to stumble and learn along the way, but like put yourself out there, it's worth it. Even
Totally.
if you're going to be the only girl or woman in the room, get in that room and just start asking
Yeah.
questions. Like, everyone starts somewhere. And I think if you're yourself, people can tell. And if you have good intentions, that shines through. And I believe in karma. I believe in the law of attraction, and let the haters hate. There's going to be a lot of haters, but they're dealing with something on their own, and just wish them well and move on.
Yeah. And I love how you framed it. It's like I see value in both. And I get it. I get and I rail in on this on my show all the time. Like, I get not making everything like a woman in this. Like, I say that it's like, I don't want to be a female podcast. I want to like throw me in with the guys. Like, I don't need to be separated. At the same time, I think it's cool to be like, I am holding it down in this space. Okay, come on, ladies, let's go. Or like, even as the guys, like, yeah, bring more women in, and they're down for it. So I get, the value in both there. I know we have to wrap in a couple minutes. Do you feel comfortable telling us? Because I do want the ladies to learn and everyone to learn what percentage of your portfolio in investments would be like roughly would be trad versus crypto.
Oh, so yeah, I feel totally comfortable talking about this. I am almost completely, entirely Bitcoin. The only part of my
Okay.
portfolio that's not Bitcoin is I have like an IRA, and that's where I
Okay.
have experimented with things like stocks, but most of the stocks are Bitcoin stocks.
Okay.
Or Bitcoin adjacent, like strategy, things like that. And then I do hold a little bit of gold in that because I
Okay.
just have held it for a long time. It's done really well this year. But in terms of like my liquid savings, my savings outside of my IRA, it is literally all Bitcoin,
There
all
you
the way.
go.
I really believe in it. I dollar cost average. I continue to buy. I just think that I want to accumulate as much as I possibly can, while I have cash flow, because that's what
Yeah,
that's what you
girl.
need to be able to keep investing. And then hopefully someday I will be able to help my family and others. I'm someone who I believe that you have to give back too. And so I just hope that I'm in a position to be as generous as some people have been with me, with their time and with their help. And I think that, that's one of the best things about becoming wealthy is like you just have more freedom, more options. You can help more
Fuck
people. You can
yeah.
Yeah, you just can do more for the
What
world.
she
And
said, what she
yeah.
said. And see, that's another thing where we're brainwashed because we are raised in this country to think, oh, again, like eat the rich. Rich people are bad. They're greedy. They're selfish. And everything you just said is like, yes, 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 across the board.
Yeah.
Okay, these last few, we're gonna hit it and quit it rapid
Okay.
fire style. Okay, Natalie. All right. Um, First thing is you see all these kind of like Bitcoin, like Steak and Shake just came out with a Bitcoin burger. Like there's Bitcoin gift card, all this. What do you think is the cheesiest kind of Bitcoin ploy you've seen, if any?
Oh God, I don't think they're cheesy. I love it. I love the
Okay, cool.
I
We'll
love
take
the
it.
Steak and Shack burger. I'm trying
I
to think
like
of
the
something that would
Bitcoin
be.
burger.
Yeah, I love the more Bitcoin stuff. Like I want more jewelry that says, but like I love all the Bitcoin things. There's never enough.
I love it. Okay. And I love how you're about it, by the way. I call out people on the show all the time who like don't walk the walk and aren't about it. And you obviously, even your portfolio, everything, you're about it. Okay.
Yeah.
You have sat down with everybody from, like I said, Dave Portnoy, Michael Saylor. This is a twofold. What is the most profound story, perhaps, that you've crossed? And who is the most unlikely or surprising person that you've been able to convert into being a
Convert.
Bitcoin believer? Yes.
My mom, maybe. It's I think my mom was like the most hesitant, and I finally got her on board to it. But as for my guests, gosh, it's so hard because my podcast has just been such a gift in terms of the stories people have shared with me. I won't give like a specific guess, but here's what I will say.
Mhm.
If you go back to my earliest episodes, they are hidden gems because when I started the show, I didn't expect to continue it. I thought I was going to do like 12 episodes and just keep going as a reporter. And it was sort of accidental that I kept doing it. But those initial episodes, I wanted to get everyone's backstory. So I tried to get as prominent of the
Okay.
names as possible, like the Michael Saylors, Lynn
Yeah.
Aldens, all of them. And we started from the beginning. It was like, where did you grow up? What did
Oh,
you want to
that's
be
so
when you grew up?
cool. I love
And
that.
yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that those very, very personal stories and journeys exist. So I just urge people to take a listen to those early interviews because you might find out something about one of your favorite voices that you didn't know because those were awesome interviews.
There's something really raw about those early days. Like it's why the first Harry
Yeah.
Potter and Lord of the Rings are my fave. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like there's something about it, just like sets a table. Okay. Last two here. If you were still in legacy media, what would be a story that you'd be dying to investigate right now outside of finance?
Ooh, oh God,
Yes.
there's so many.
Like first thing that comes to mind.
Oh gosh. I mean, I just wish that we could see where the money goes with every government, right? Like I want to see how much gold we have. I want to see where all the money is spent. I really admire what Doge was trying to accomplish, but it's so
Yeah, same.
hard. It like
Yeah.
barely made a dent because there's just so much mismanagement and misallocation. And I wish we just had more transparency, which is again what's so great about Bitcoin, because like you literally see where the funds are going. So if we had a Bitcoin wallet address for the United States government, we could literally see what they're spending it on and verify it ourselves, and that would be awesome.
Very last one. And she is about Bitcoin on the brain. I'm like, outside of finance, she's like, all right, we need to clean up with
I
Doge
know.
and get this on Bitcoin. No, it's true though. Last thing, because you do a ton of these interviews, you interview people all the time. What is something that nobody ever asks you that you are just dying to answer or get out there that you wish people did? No pressure.
Um, I don't I you ask very good questions because I don't know the answer to this one. Woo, like I don't know. I mean, people have asked me everything, I guess. Um, I guess I just
Maybe,
hope people
maybe it like keeps you up at night or something that like you really are thinking about, on the off hour. You're like, man, I really want to, it's in the shower or what, those like thoughts that it's just like, those are the thoughts.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot about like my purpose in life. Especially after the Charlie Kirk shooting. I
Girl,
think I've
same.
just yeah, I don't know.
Major,
I've just been on a
major.
little bit more of like a frequency of just kind of thinking about my life and the meaning of life and who you want to impact. And You just never know when it's your last day. And so you just want to do right by people. And I just think that online today, it's like, there's so much negativity and everyone's fighting and everyone's divided into teams and like the market is chaotic and there's just so much that pulls you into this like frequency of stress and anxiety. And I just think we really need to try to pull ourselves out because there's so much beauty in the world. There's so much opportunity more than ever before, especially with platforms like this where you can literally create your own destiny and talk about what you want and interview people and learn about anything you want. And I just wish that people would focus more on like the things that connect us and the good that we have and like reconnect with the people that have made an impact on their lives. Because again, there's going to be a day that comes where, it's too late. And maybe someone is not there anymore to talk to or an opportunity has slipped away. And it's like, you have to seize the day and seize the moment and do what you can and support people. Be nice because I think it does matter. I think what goes around comes around. And the more positivity and good vibes that you put out, you get them in return, even if it's not right away.
So well said. No notes. My audience knows I've been in an existential crisis since Charlie Kirk, like no makeup, crying on the stream, be like, what is the meaning of it all? So you're speaking to all of us. I cannot wait to get your book.
Thank you.
I see it right behind you. It's propped up. It's there to
Very
be
colorful.
seen. She's having her moment. Yes. Natalie, thank you so much. I can't wait to get Bitcoin is for everyone. And
Thank you.
truly though, not just saying this to actually, I could learn from it as well. You'll have to come back. And when you are in Nashville, we'll make some things happen too. But thank you so much for taking the time. You were so great, Natalie. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. I will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you.
That's okay.
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal. Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around? Messing around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite.